Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope everyone had a wonderful Mother's Day. I had a good visit with my stepdad waiting for my mother to come home from church. It gives you an idea, married couples don't necessarily do church together. Yeah, my real father didn't do church with her either. Can't imagine why. Anyway, so bought my mother a rose bush and a couple of hummingbird feeders, because she loves roses and she loves hummingbirds. So, yeah. Anywho, disclaimer, I cuss and I vape, and if you don't like it, you can go away. Anywho, so I am like just getting my daily mind wipe on, browsing YouTube, browsing Facebook, and it pops a message. And I'm like, okay, let's trigger me some more. Because yesterday, I'll give you the backstory to that in a minute. This message pops up, and it is a dude that I used to work with. He no longer works at my company, right? And I'm in the thick of healing from the narcissist, right? And I don't want to be fucking bothered with anybody. I can barely stand being with myself, right? And I am struggling to get outdoors even on nice days just to get, some fresh air. That kind of motivation, right? And this dude, I wasn't even attracted to. He's just a buddy from work that, whatever. It wasn't a proposition that said, hey, me and so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, we're all meeting up on Saturday. We're going to go hang out XYZ. Hey, you want to come ride with us, right? Or come hang with us. We're doing this, right? As a group. No. It's a blatant, kind of proposition, and I'm not fucking interested. Not only am I not interested on a, personal level, but I'm just not interested on an intellectual one and or sociological one or what have you, right? 5 o'clock in the morning, I get this stupid message. I'm still disappointed you won't come out and hang out with me and Radar. You know what, dude? You are at the bottom of my fucking priority list, and nobody even above you gets me when they ask. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, I am not in any way, shape, or form ready to fucking explain myself. Regardless. I was like, and then I get a few minutes later, I get silence. I'm like, block. No. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I already turned you down once, as gracefully as I could. And I'm sorry you're still disappointed. Not my fucking problem. Get over it, princess. Okay, so what triggered this attitude? Long story short, I had to make a very difficult decision when my daughter was about 3 years old. She had just turned 3, actually. And the day after my birthday, when she had turned 3 in January, I had finalized packing her up, and my father was taking her to live with my sister under a power of attorney. Because I was still in school, I had 6 or 9 months left to go, and daycare was through the fucking roof and I couldn't afford it. And I had no intention of leaving my daughter there until she, graduated high school. That was not the fucking plan. So, her insurance under her father was stupid. Drained my sister's savings. The only way my sister could get her aunt insurance was to obtain custody. So she ended up obtaining custody so my daughter would have proper medical insurance. Okay? Now, two parents, me and my daughter's father, are paying this woman to raise our child. Okay? Now, yesterday, and she did, and I had not intended for her to stay there. But then after so many years, I was like, you know what? She's stable. She's got friends. I'm not bringing her into the military to uproot her every other year to send her to the same fucking house that I'm taking her out of. Because that's how she would have, that's exactly what she would have done. Made no sense. I left her alone. Well, because my sister is a narcissistic nut job, this is the oldest one. Yeah. Every time I would visit, she would have my child's days so congested with fucking activities that there was no one-on-one with me and my own kid. Even though the dad and I were paying, you know, he had messaged me, what the fuck is she asking me for money to remodel her bathroom to get our kid a bathroom in her house to raise the equity in her house? What is going on here, right? Him and I had pitched in for a daybed for our kid. When my sister decided to downsize and sell everything off, she did not offer that bed to either one of us. And we are the ones who bought it. Him and I. Right? Now, him and I don't talk because he saw through her. Now, I am seeing through her, and I also see through this man that she just married. Me and my stepdad had a conversation about that yesterday, and it was, oh my God, this man is like, I don't like going places where I have to hold back my emotion for shit that's said. And I swear, he said the F word yesterday, which was like, I've never heard him say that word ever in like 15 years. Right? Yeah, he's pissed. So, anyway, him and I had a great talk. Anyway, and so my oldest sister, you know, she's, you know, Happy Mother's Day. She's got like 4 different posts of Happy Mother's Day on her Facebook. Right? I guess one wasn't enough. And one of our cousins had put in there, Happy Mother's Day and soon to be Grandma. And I commented, I am the one who will be the grandma. So me and my daughter have a fantastic relationship. We had a fantastic relationship when my sister's control factor fucking suppressed and she allowed me to come visit. Yeah, she was a straight cunt. Anyway, and yeah. Anyway, me and my kid have a great relationship. She had sent me a message the other day and said, can you build, are you crafty enough to do this? And I was like, I built a tiny house. I can build a bookshelf, right? She was like, I thought so. I was like, I said, is that what you want? She goes, yeah, I want you to build it because it's, you know, it'll be special because you built it, right? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I went and bought the lumber. And I sent her a picture. I said, I'm at Lowe's. This is why I don't go to Lowe's, because I bought half of their garden center and the lumber department. And I had a cart and a buggy full of stuff. It'll load it up in the car. Anyway, she's just like, well, how many plants did you buy? I said, just a few. She's like, my God, right? I said, but I got the lumber for your project. So anyway, so me and my daughter have a fantastic relationship. And we talk about things to each other that everybody else, because we're pariahs, right? You know, it's like, we don't have to say anything, but the looks on our faces basically say paragraphs. You know, in regard. And so she had messaged me. She's like, do you got time to talk? Can I call you? And I was like, yeah, call me. Call me whenever you want. But she was like, no, I don't want to interrupt you. I know you work a lot, and I know like sometimes you want to just sleep and you don't want to talk. And yeah, because my phone's on silent, so she could call and I wouldn't see it. I'd have to call her back if I was sleeping. So she calls me and she expresses concern so much that, my son-in-law, the night that my sister that, technically raised my daughter, got married, they had come in from out west and stayed at this, man's house with my sister and him, right? My brother-in-law. Anyway, yeah, he's, anyway, my son-in-law, like, sensed psycho vibes, right? So he said something to my daughter, and the night that they stayed there, he had pushed a trunk in front of the door. And I was like, when she told me this, she was like, I'm just calling. I'm asking, he wants to know how, what is your opinion? I said, he's not wrong. I said, I sent something back in March. All right, this misogynistic, egotistical, it's all about him, kind of fucked up. If he was at the center of attention, he gets very, like, I don't know, Kurt-ish type. It's strange. And it is like her and I being like empath and her husband like thinking I'm great, right? And we're all like, this guy's fucking creepy, right? And anyway, so my sister marries this fucker. Nobody can say nothing because God help me. If anybody say no, we understand that, your whole love life and your pattern of dating and everything, has kind of been bleh, and you finally find somebody that loves you. But I think it's more of a misguided, kind of like a hospice type of hospice spouse. We're going to get married because we're old and falling apart, and that way we can help each other out. Yeah, anyway. So, that being said. So, this, cousin, nobody commented. My sister had then also added a text, right, to me and the other two nut jobs, saying Happy Mother's Day, right? And I sat there, how do I, yeah, she was an aunt to my daughter. She took care of my daughter in an aspect of being a mom type of thing. And anybody can be a mother, and I get it. You take on other people's responsibilities or what have you. Everybody mothers everybody. I got, friends in this industry that their kids are like my children. I love them, that kind of thing. But I was just like, thanks. Right? Because apparently this cousin has some sort of fucked up perception that my sister is the parent to my daughter. Well, she was custodial parent. Oh, woo! We got rain. Yeah, it's kind of shitty outside. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. It's not raining that hard. What? Oh. That's weird. Anyway, so, anywho, yeah, I don't know how work's gonna go. I don't gotta be there for a couple hours. The struggle is real. Yeah. This is the most it's acted kind of funky in a while. What the hell is going on? They've never had it go off 3 times like that. Anyway, so yeah, Mother's Day was ruined several years ago. Let's see, it was 2011? 2010. 2010. Because in 2008, before I went back into the service, we went and got pictures on my sister, my daughter, and myself. Me and my daughter alone, my sister and my daughter alone, and then both of us, all three of us together. And the photo that she used, she cropped me out of it on her Facebook profile. And I hadn't even really, I had just gotten the photos because I had just gone home after I got back from Iraq, right? And it was like within the year I had left for Iraq, right? So I'd gotten the pictures right before Christmas time, and I put them like literally in the gift bag. They were in a box. I hadn't even looked really at them. I didn't even click, right? So I'm home, and it's Mother's Day. In the picture, I took it out of the box when I got back from, I got into this barracks room, and I set it up on the shelf in this little cubby thing that they supplied us in military furniture kind of crap. And I went to go click on my sister's Facebook to wish her a happy Mother's Day, right? And it was from that point on, I have not really entertained the Mother's Day for her because of her sketchy. Yeah, this. So I look at her profile picture and I'm like, and then I look up at the picture that's on the shelf. It was a little 5x7 type of thing. And I grab it off the shelf and I look at it, and I'm looking kind of like, at her profile picture and my picture and looking. And the only difference in her picture is the fact that I was cut out. You can make out a teeny little portion of my knee. She did that while I was in Iraq. I was too busy on missions and taking care of an arms room and shit to notice, right, that I had been cropped out. Because we had gotten pictures alone, right? Why didn't she use one of those? So when I bitched, I was like, whoa, that's fucking nice. Nice picture. Crop me out. I will always be that child's mother. Always. So basically, she didn't think I was coming home. And that she was going to get this $400,000 that they have automatic life insurance for, people in the military. Crop me out. I was pissed. My mom was like, well, she just needed a nice photo. And you can fucking go take one. We got smartphones. Cameras. Help her out. Take a good picture of her. Crop me out of a fucking photo. A family picture? What the fuck? Right? Should have just put the whole thing up there. Anyway. I was so disgusted with that it just, every Mother's Day, I just cater to my mom and fuck everybody else. And my daughter messages me. She goes, I can't afford anything right now. All you get is very well thought out, crazy sarcastic memes. I said, anything is fine with me. Just anything. I am not begging for some sort of extravagant shit from my kid. Just anything's fine with me. So it's been hurtful that this one cousin has always rubbed it in my face. That I had to sacrifice. I had to make a decision that was so fucking painful. And it stifled progress because I was miserable without my kid being in my life. It was frustrating, to say the least. And I had to endure this guilt that at the time when I sent her to go live with my sister, I couldn't afford to send my sister extra shit. I would buy little toys and stuff with little extra money that I had, and I'd save it all up. And then when I get there, I'd bring it. By the time I was able to afford to go back, a lot of the stuff was too young, age-appropriate type of things. A lot of Barbie dolls, a lot of different little, toys and things like that. Like, dollar store, I used to stock there. It was like a part-time job. They used to have these dolls that were all like fairy tale, like Rapunzel, Cinderella, Little Mermaid, stuff like that. It wasn't Barbie. It was just whatever that, off-brand, dollar store doll was. But they were cute, and they weren't very expensive, but they had a whole series of them, all like fairy tale type of themed. They fit in Barbie clothes. They were the same size doll, just a little bit different facial features. I got her the whole fucking thing, at one of it each. Yeah, that kind of crap. Because I loved strawberry shortcake when I was a kid. My mother wouldn't buy me the whole fucking. I wanted all 10 or 15 of those friggin' little characters. I never got that kind of thing. So my kid was going to get every single character of whatever, and she loved it. She collected dolls. And she wouldn't even take them out of the box. She left them in the box as like a collector's item. My sister sold everything. She sold everything. My daughter was like, not only was she traumatized by all of this, I was kind of traumatized because a lot of the stuff that she had, I had purchased, her dad had purchased. I was wondering about a few things. Curious if it made the cut. Are they missing? That kind of crap. Like anything to delete me from this child's life. It just, the frustration, and then to wake up to that kind of crap from somebody who, he was just an acquaintance at work. We were not very close. I mean, we had, Facebook friend type of thing, and we had, conversation when we were actually at jobs at the same time. I'd sit there and bullshit with him, hey, someone parked right behind you, watch your six, kind of thing. Other than that, they're never personal and no interest thereof. Anyway, it was kind of unnerving to be like silence. I was like, fuck off. Period. It was yeah. Dating over 50. I wasn't even dating the guy. I wasn't interested in dating him. He was more like a fucking hangout buddy. I've got a buddy from high school that he messaged me, missing you, you crazy ass. Yeah, because he's a buddy. I still don't make time to go out there. Unless I've got, my life is my life. I got a whole house, a truck, a motorcycle, a zero-turn lawnmower, a fucking entire yard in my life that I prioritize. Now, what's stopping you from fucking coming down? Or saying, hey, I'm going to ride down, hang out with you. Are you free? Yeah, I'm here. But that doesn't mean I have time to socialize. I'm going to be working on my yard. You want to come and hang out with me? Help me work on my yard? Yeah, I'm here. Otherwise, I'm not taking out time or gas or, prioritizing you to go hang out, knowing that the reason why you're inviting me out there is because it's a proposition, not just, hey, we're having beers and I'm cooking a meat roast in the smoker, and a bunch of my buddies and everybody's coming over. Come on over and eat, like my buddy from high school does. Two totally different conversations there, in which he's closer. His buddy from high school. But no, I haven't gone. He's messaged me a couple times. I'll get out there when I got time. When I can ride the bike. Yeah, so I was going to do the oil change yesterday and I didn't get to it. So, might get done today because it's fucking raining. And I can go out there in the garage and be productive after I get off work today. Because I got a feeling it's going to be a short day. Yeah, I'm going to be out of there by 4 o'clock. Right. So, anyway, y'all take care. I know it's been a minute. Hope everybody had a great Mother's Day. And yay. Yeah, this I have entered the phase of intolerance, and I don't give a rat's ass. Peace out, y'all.